Hey everyone, so welcome to this special edition at Pinky Hooks. I wanted to make a video about something very dear to my heart when it comes to how I deal with my hands when I am crocheting. So I have the beginning stages of osteoarthritis, and I also have a condition called cervical stenosis. And it was really important for me to make this video because I wanted to share with people my experience and also my testimony when it comes to having a certain hand condition that I thought would stop me from ever crocheting again. Basically last year, probably mid-September, all of a sudden I was having, like really bad pain in my thumbs, where I just figured, okay, well, I probably have been crocheting back to back. I have not been giving myself enough time to heal, and I figured maybe it was something like tendonitis, but it just kept getting worse. So I went to a hand specialist, and I would just say that basically they was just like, oh yeah, it's probably just tendonitis, so let's just take a steroid shot. They injected steroids into my hands, which I didn't know anything about steroid injections. I had never gotten it before, and it actually made the condition worse. I don't care what the doctor says. He was not listening to me, but I literally started experiencing severe pain. It was hard to describe, kind of like pain in my fingers, almost like paper cuts all the time. It was so bad. It was progressing extremely fast. I did not understand what was happening. We kept going back, getting tests done, and then it got to the point where they wanted to do some kind of electrode type test on my arms and nervous system, and then it was an MRI done. I was terrified because I literally could just be sitting down and my hands would flare up. I was in braces that covered the majority of my hand. My fingers would be sticking out, but I couldn't type at work. People literally they would have to come to my desk and type out an email for me. It was bad. I could just be sitting there and pain would shoot, like it just felt like somebody dropped cinder blocks. Nobody knew what was happening. I took tests for rheumatoid. I had blood work done. Thank God it wasn't rheumatoid. But basically, all of this went on from mid-September until I think it was like right around Thanksgiving. During that time period, I believed that I would never be able to crochet. I mean, it was so bad that I literally had to call up a friend for him and his wife to come over and help me open up a bottle of Advil. Like, I was in that much pain. Now, if you are like me and you have a strong love for crocheting, or you are a knitter, you know how you would feel if someone just told you one day, well, you're not going to be able to knit again. You can't crochet. I was so scared that I would never be able to do it again. I was to the point where I wouldn't even want to go into the closet where my yarn was stashed. I was beside myself. I tried to even take up looming because I figured, okay, well, let me try to learn that. That's, that can't possibly hurt my hands. I couldn't even hold the little gadget, like to get my yarn around the loom kit. At this point, I was basically at a point where I was at my low point, and I just told my dad, I told other people, I'm just going to throw all my yarn away. I had invested so much into it. So basically what happened was, finally, with the final MRI that I did, they found out that it was cervical stenosis. So, but it was mixed with arthritis. So now we know what it was, and there was different ways to treat it. I chose not to do the procedure that they wanted to put a needle into the back of my neck, into my spine, because I just didn't trust it. So I went to physical therapy, and I did physical therapy for about 3 months, maybe a little bit over 3 months. During that time, I still was not crocheting. I basically was trying to see what could I do with my hands. And I started doing research. I literally Googled, like, do people with rheumatoid? I took the worst arthritis possible, which is rheumatoid. I took that one and Googled, and I said, do people with rheumatoid arthritis, do they still crochet? Can they crochet? Can they knit? And I found somebody's blog that they had their experience, and they said the things that they do. So I started doing those along with the physical therapy to help, how I could get my spine back and aligned, so that my hands would not have flare-ups, because my hands will have these horrible flare-ups, and I will post some of those pictures in this video so that you could see the condition that my hands were in. And I still get those flare-ups from time to time. But anyway, I took a couple of tips from this lady, and I'm so sorry because I cannot remember, but she did some general she gave some general tips of how you can prepare your hands. So basically what I do in the morning, if you have arthritis anywhere in your body, or if you just have stiff joints, if you're an athlete and you work out a lot, the number one thing that they tell you to do is to soak. And that is so true. So in the morning, whenever I wake up, especially on the weekends and I have the time, I will go ahead and run very, very like warm, almost hot as I can stand it, water in my sink basin, and I will let my hands soak. And while I'm doing the soaking, I'm literally moving my fingers, and I will show you a small video of me doing that in this segment right now. The other thing that I had started doing research was, okay, what can I do to compress the inflammation in my hands? So again, I have recorded a couple of things that products that I use when I'm crocheting, but I really wanted to reach out to people out there, because there's somebody out there that thinks that they're sad. They think that they can never crochet, they can never knit. And even if you're not a crochet and knitter, you just happen to stop by, if you do any kind of crafts with your hands, wreath making, anything like that, and you're thinking, oh, well, I had a good run. I don't know what your condition is, but I'm saying I'm bringing this video to you to encourage you, to uplift you, and say, don't stop. My dad told me, Shania, you'll probably, be able to crochet. The first thing that you have to do is don't sit here and have a pity party for yourself. Okay? Find something else. Find a way. And that's what I did after I finished, tearing up, snotting all over the place and feeling sorry and praying to God and, oh my God, this is it. I can never crochet. That's how much I love to crochet. So I was determined to find a way. And I did. I had to find, and my dad said, and as time progresses, one day you'll find yourself, even if you have a flare-up, you'll find a way to work through the pain. And I do. And it's because I have the love of this craft. I absolutely love creating. I love working with my hands. I take that from my mom and my dad. They are creators of different things. And that's how I felt like, what am I going to do, Dad, if I can't crochet? What am I going to do if I can't even paint? I can't draw. I have to have a hobby, and this is my hobby. And it dawned on me that when I started this channel, it was so important to share this with anybody who feels that way. If you feel like, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that anymore because of my hands, that's not necessarily true. What it is that maybe you can't work with thread anymore because it's so tiny. So you might have to work with a thicker thread. Maybe, you just can't work as long as you used to, which is why I'm bringing this video to you, because yes, I would love to bring new content to you twice, 3, 4 times a week. I would like to give you something new every day if I could. But the reality of it is that I do have a job, that I sit at a keyboard. I key all day long. My hand is wrapped around a mouse, okay? All day long. And then I come home and I want to sit down and I crochet. You need to learn your limits. Know your limits. Don't push your body further than what it really can go. Listen to your body. If you're tired and your hands are cramping, take a rest. I know more than anybody how badly I want to hurry up and spit out 10 projects. But that's not the reality of it. So listen to your body. Do your research, okay? Find a way to push through. And talk to other people. Find a forum where people might have a condition with their hands. Like I said, I have 2 different types of conditions with my hands. I can tell the flare-ups. When I have a flare-up, I know, like, ooh, that's the arthritis. And then I'm like, ooh, no, that's the cervical stenosis. And I just know how to deal with it. And there are days that no matter what I do, these tips that I'm about to show you and the products that I use to help me get through it, there are days that it doesn't matter. I can't do it. I can't keep popping ibuprofen or aspirin all the time. What my body is trying to tell me is, hey, Shania, not right now. And I had to learn how to live with that. So what I'm saying is, please don't give up. I hope this video helps you. And like I said, I'm about to show you some of the things that I do. The video was recorded in different parts. So if you notice the nail polish, you'd be like, wait a minute. She got on blue nail polish now. I was doing it in different time periods or whatever, and I will show you pictures of what my hands look like, just in case this does look familiar to some of you. So I just really don't want anybody to give up their dream of crocheting and knitting. There is a way, and leave me a comment below. Leave me a comment below once you're done watching this video, and let me know what you think. And if I helped you in any way, or if you have any tips to add on to it, please share with me, share with the community. So I appreciate you taking out this time to listening to my story. Okay, so I'm about to show you what I do. Thanks for watching. And also, if you like what you saw and you heard today, hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell, and just let me know what you think, okay? Thank you. Stay blessed. Keep crocheting. Keep creating. Bye. So sometimes when I wake up in the morning and my hands are extremely stiff. Now, right now, they're a little red. They're a little, swollen. That's from me typing all day. So first step, I normally just go ahead and I fill a basin with warm to pretty much, it's kind of hot. And that's to get that stiffness out of your fingers. You can do this in the morning. When you first wake up, if you have problems like arthritis, or what I have with the cervical stenosis, and that's just to get that blood circulating. So I will submerge my hands like so in this water, and I usually will try to get the water to come past my wrist, because when you're crocheting or knitting, I know with crocheting, sometimes with your middle finger, you can get this tension, like tendonitis, right up in here. So I'll just submerge, and what you want to do is just put your hands in the water. Leave them in for as long as you need to. I normally will do about 2 to 3 minutes. And while they're in this warm to hot water, what you want to do is just move your fingers around, stretch them. Let that water, that heat from the water just cover your hands, just take away that stiffness, Okay, and after you feel comfortable, take your hands out of the water, and basically what you can do is run your hands over ice cold water. So after I finish soaking my hands, of course you want to moisturize your hands, because just like the top of your skin is dry and it can get cracked, you also want moisturization that penetrates, not just sits on top of your skin, but actually penetrate within. So the next thing that I will use is like a pain relief cream, even if my hands are not in pain, but that has a moisturizer in there, okay? Any moisturizer will do. Any moisturizer will do. Number 3, you may want to invest in some hand braces, okay? Depending on where your problem area is, every crocheter knitter knows after they've done a long project where their pain hits the most, okay? Again, in my case, because I am in the beginning stages of arthritis and I do have cervical stenosis, which is a problem with an alignment in my neck, okay? Which it'll extend out to my hand. So then I have two problems. I might have a flare up from the arthritis, or I will get a flare up from, you know, effects of cervical stenosis. And basically with the cervical stenosis, I can do therapy, but with the arthritis, we can't get away from it. And even if you don't have arthritis, again, if you're doing long projects, you might want to invest in some hand braces. So what this does is that it focuses on stabilizing my thumb, okay? So I just slide my thumb up in here. And I like this one because it's soft. It's not a real hard brace, okay? You adjust it and wrap it around. And this supports that area. It keeps it stabilized. You know, we were just talking about that. So when I start to move this, you know, my fingers, and especially that middle finger, which that has, I mean, it stretches all the way down into this tendon that's usually a lot of people will experience pain and soreness after long projects. But do you see the beauty of this? I'm still able to move my hands, okay? I have no problems with this. The other brace that I use is by Mueller. And these braces, no one paid me to say this. I bought these braces about a year ago when I was first diagnosed with cervical stenosis and the beginning stages of osteoarthritis. And I had completely given up. I was just like, oh my God, my life is over as far as crocheting is going. And I basically had, it was trial and error. I had to figure out what could I do to make sure that I was able to continue to crochet. So as you can see, the difference is that this one, more of my hand is exposed. Okay, this is a softer brace. This is, again, by Dr. Wellen. And I like this one, but not as much as I like this one. The reason why I like Mueller's better is because when you turn your hand over, you get this support right around here. And we all know, oh, focus, there we go. We all know that it tends to bother us sometimes when you're holding the hook. So with these, I am still able to crochet. Let me show you. And this is a very fine yarn, okay? So most times when people have arthritis, they tend to stay away from fine yarns because they're just like, oh, I can't anymore. And that may be because they have pains in their fingers, their joints. But as you can see, I am still able to do my project with no problems with crocheting. My thumbs are stabilized, so it takes the pressure off those joints in my thumbs.
and I am able to move right through my projects with no problems. That's the beauty of having this hand brace. They are not the traditional braces. Tip number 4, compression gloves. Okay, I have a pair of copper fit compression gloves. Okay, these particular compression gloves actually have medicine built in them, and I was like skeptical. Now, I'm not really sure. Please do not quote me. I don't know. With a period of time, you know, over time, after you keep washing them, I'm pretty sure that the medicine leaves. But when I first bought these, okay, I put these on and the medicine was trapped up in here. And literally how it worked was that when I started moving, right, it activated and it released the medicine into my hands and in my joints. Okay, and of course I don't get that feeling anymore, so it's safe to say that after a couple of washes, you know, it's gone. However, I'm still recommending these because of the fact that I mainly wanted something that would stop the inflammation. Compression gloves are good for when your hands get fat, you know, and they're inflamed. Again, these can be used whether you have arthritis or not. It is about the human body. What happens when we are overworking something, you know, I mean, we're pushing it past its limit sometimes. So again, these are by Copper Fit. They fit, they feel great, okay? This stops that inflammation and I am able to move my fingers great. They're very lightweight, okay? And again, I don't always have to put on both. I might just need one hand. It just depends on which one is really bothering me. And then there are times when I have to use both. Okay, I like these because you can adjust how far, you know, like how much of your fingertips is being shown. But again, I will have to use these at some time, you know, to get my crocheting done. And I can still crochet with no problems. And that's because the tips of my fingers are exposed, so I am still able to hold that no matter what I'm doing. I will clean in these as long as I'm not doing anything like dishes, but I'll do all day chores, all day tasks. Sometimes I wear one, sometimes I wear two. Compression gloves are just really good to have on hand, no matter what your condition is. Number 5, wearing finger splints or splints. I said finger splints. Finger splints. There are different ones. If you don't want to wear the compression gloves, there are finger splints that are flexible in material. Okay. A lot of times I might just have one finger. You might have one finger that's really bothering you. And these are a compressor, okay, as well as a soft splint. So a lot of times these guys get really aggravated. I will put this on, and trust me, you may be like looking at it and thinking, oh, it's just like a little leg warmer for a finger, but it fits extremely tight. And when I first started using these, the tips of my fingers, you know, I was just like, oh my God, are they turning blue? But that meant that for that particular thing, like these were at the time were too tight, and which told me that I might have bought the wrong size. Some of them come in sizes There are other brands that basically is just one size fit all. Again, I bought these off of Amazon, and I will provide a link below so that you're able to see these. These were, I think, in a pack of 20, and I don't think I paid over $15 for these. So I love these. I keep them. I'll slip them on sometimes my thumb, wherever I'm having a problem with. Now, I normally won't put it on my pinky because your pinky, you know, is smaller and slender, so they tend to slide off. But every other finger, and again, the crochet test. Of course, you know, I'm able to do my thing with no problems. Yep, that's what I'm able to do. So I would think about investing in these as well.
Last but not least, there are ice packs for your hands, okay? I got these off of Amazon, and they look like sparring mitts, no lie. So what it is, it's a mitt that you will put in the freezer, okay, very much like an ice pack, except for it fits like a glove, okay? You have to put them in the freezer in the bag that they provide, okay? So this one is fresh out the freezer, and it looks like a mitt, like an oven mitt, okay? So it's insulated, and what you can do is you can just, you know, I don't use the thing that goes around the wrist like that. I just basically slot my hands in there. This actually helps a lot. Let me, okay, get that out for you. This helps a lot when my hands are extremely inflamed. Like I'm talking about especially if I'm not crocheting, but I just need to get that inflammation and that think about inflammation. That means it's hot, it's burning. So these, and they're lined inside like with a soft kind of like a terry cloth material. But you put your hands in these, and I'll just sit there, and I'm telling you, it cools your hands off. It relaxes. So sometimes after I do that first tip that I showed you with the soaking, if these are in the freezer and I just want to hurry up, I don't want to waste water, I don't want to run my hands under cold water, I'll usually slide these on, okay? I know it looks funny, but trust and believe when I tell you that these are great. Again, I got these off of Amazon, and I will say this again, this is not sponsored. Nobody paid me to do this. This is just part of the things that I found on helping to reduce pain and inflammation with my hands. So it helps like a great deal. So again, I'm gonna try to put the link down in the description box along with the other products, but really you should look into these. This is it's an awesome investment, and I actually have 2 of these. So sometimes I wear both of them. Sometimes I put them on and just sleep with them on to get my hands ready, but this is something that you may want to look into.